Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Peachy keen. All right, let's hear it from you guys. What's going on?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm hopefully writing 2 contracts today.
Nice.
Just claim it, girl.
Yes, I'm writing 2 contracts. So
There you go.
one, we had to get another lender involved because the previous lender is a portfolio in-house and they don't do manufactured homes.
Gotcha.
So I found another lender. She told me last night it went through their underwriting and it's fine. So we're waiting on THCA to come back to us. So that's one.
Yay.
And the other one was a Facebook lead from back in the summer that I saw he got active this weekend. Called him up, said, "Hey, I'm the realtor that's been sending you leads. Do you want to see this property?" He said, "Yes." We went to see it. He's getting his pre-approval together. And we're going to submit an offer today. And the funny thing is, he's been working with a realtor who's a friend, but she never followed up.
Bam. Love it. Absolutely
So
love
I
it.
haven't run Facebook ads since I think June, July,
Right.
but the ones that are in there, I still track.
Uh-huh.
And when they get active in KB Core, you know, because the website's linked,
Mm-hmm.
I follow up with a phone call.
Nice. Very, very nice. Love it. All right, Craig, what you got?
Well, I'm writing a contract today too.
Oh,
On
Nice.
new construction.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it just fell in my lap. So I love this one. I have a relationship with the on-site agent. Had talked to her before, and she was like, "Hey, we're gonna make some money next year." And I was like, "Okay, cool," you know. And so she gives me a client that walks in off of the street. But the caveat is I have to split the commission with another agent, a KW agent. But I
Why is
write
that?
the contract.
Why is that?
She's helping us both. So,
Okay.
and I was like, okay, well, only thing I got to do is come and sit down and put my name on the contract. The people are already ready to go, and they're ready to buy. They already picked the house out and everything. I was like, so cool. Yeah, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and then yesterday, my little cousin came to hang out with me and my son. So he's my cousin's grandson, and he's 9. And I used to keep him a lot when he was younger, because he just doesn't have a male in his life, positive male, and you know, so I would always keep him with us, and you know, he was just hang out with us a lot. So he hadn't been down for a while, and he came down, hung with us, and my son had to go work out, so he and I went to Ollie's. I don't know if you're familiar with Ollie's.
Oh,
So
totally. It's a Southern thing, man.
yeah, my favorite store, right?
I love it. You never know what you're gonna find at Ollie's. And I'm a
Yeah,
book
for real.
lover, so and for kids' books and things too. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
So we went in, um, and I told him to pick him out a Christmas gift. So he
Oh,
picked two things, and so he got a pair of the fake AirPods and a wireless gaming mouse for his computer. So
Mhm.
I spent all of $12.
aw.
Exactly. We took our
Yeah.
daughter to Ollie's because she had never seen it or heard of it before, and we're like, they're similar, but there's some different stuff in all of them, but you just never know. And that's why I went Christmas shopping
Yeah,
with Ophelia, because if she was glommed onto it, it went in the cart and she's totally forgotten about it. It's on her Christmas list, but I mean, that's half of what's underneath our tree.
gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I go there once or twice a week
Mhm,
just to see
mhm,
what they got. And they used to
mhm.
have really good business books in there too, but just good books, period. Not so much now um, at ours.
Right.
But yeah, I used to pick up a lot of good books there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've gotten some coffee table books, definitely kid books. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, it's cool. That's cool. All right. Oh, hey, come on in, Bree. There you go. Bye-bye. All right. Who's got like challenges of any sort going on?
Mm.
That went quiet. Can you hear
Okay,
me, Bree?
here.
Oh,
I think my challenge is um, getting my vision and goals down.
Unmute your
Because
speaker.
I really want to
Oh, there we go.
I really want to do my vision and goals this year. I love the way Gary has explained it
mm-hmm.
and how to do it. And we were kind of talking about it yesterday as well. And it's not just so numbers focused.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to get down and really get in the trenches with this thing and just see how it goes for the next year, for 2023.
Do you have your times? Have you done any of the steps yet? Let's start with that.
Not yet.
Okay. Do you have your
No.
time to the side?
I have not, but I figured my thing was I was going to start next week, Monday. And, since we will have those 2 weeks free. And because I really don't plan on doing a whole lot during the holidays. And I'm going to really focus on that and getting it done, even doing a vision board.
Me too. And it's my favorite time of year to do that because it's quiet and the world is quiet. And the world is not like I made a rule. I'm not making any outbound phone calls. If people want to call me, that's fine. But I'm not getting down to recruiting calls. I had a guy who's like, oh, he wanted me to call him tomorrow actually. And he goes, oh, it's right before Christmas. I can't do that. Can I call you the Thursday or can you call me the Thursday after? And I'm like, no, I can't. And he's ready to join, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. This is my rule that I set up. If you want to call me, we will talk. I don't even care when. You pick a time on your schedule that works for you. You don't even have to schedule it. I'll answer my phone, or I'll probably check my message and then call you right back. To be real honest. But I'm not doing it. So I like to take the time and I really like to work on my visioning and really hone it down. Craig, have you ever done a vision board before?
I've done something that I thought was a vision board, but I've not officially done one. I did one and it was like all quotes. I put all quotes on it. So I was kind of unclear of how to do a vision board when I did it. But then I saw Bree's example yesterday and she explained why she picked each item that she did. And that really gave me some guidance with it.
I love this. I wish I still had, I probably still do in a file somewhere. I took a class when I did my first vision board, and what they had us do was they had us take the whole entire board and poster board like Bree size, and then we took it in and we took like a photo, I think, of my phone, or whatever. But anyway, I had printed on an 8.5 by 11. We needed the big vision board in front of us, but we also had the 8.5 by 11, and then we laminated it and punched a hole in it and went on our keychain. And that thing, so it's this big on your keychain, which by the way is a pain in the ass. And so, but it goes everywhere with you because it's on your keychain.
Yeah.
But when I went, and I thought it was the stupidest thing, and I really hated it. And I don't like big clunky stuff. And I like to travel really light through life. Like I don't like yesterday I had pockets. So on purpose. And the only thing I had with me is my phone, my glasses, and a thing of lipstick. I'm like, that's dang enough, right? Anyway, so, but going back when I found that vision board years later, because I did that in probably 2009, maybe I did that when I first joined up with KW. And I went back and I looked at my vision board and all these crazy things on there that were things I just wanted, which I didn't do Gary's things. I didn't know about Gary's thing. It was more stuff I wanted out of life and not what I wanted my life to look like. But I went back and I looked at it and I'm like, holy shit, I owned that table. I owned that chandelier. I owned this. I went here. I went there. I did all of it. Did I do it in a year? No. But over time, every single piece, long after I had forgotten it, long after. And the one in particular that blew me away was I found this table for a library table and it looked like a tree that came up like this and then the flat top on top of it. And I'm like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Kind of all the roots coming down for the base of it. I dang owned that table, not exactly that table, a table very, very similar to it. And
Gotcha.
yeah, all kinds of stuff like that. So it does a weird thing in your brain. It just makes the connections and then the stuff starts happening. It really does. I have Life Coach on one of my old boards back there, which is back there behind Winnie the Pooh. So I have Life Coach on there and some other things. And I'm like, yeah, I did all that. I don't know. And that's just an old one that I threw up there just to make, to have it for no other reason. It's weird. I highly encourage you to do it and pick out the pictures that really do mean something.
Yep, I will. This is one of the first years being in real estate, 15 years plus. This is one of the first years that I'm really excited going into the new year. I was 2022 coming in as well. And this year, it just seems like it's getting better and better.
I agree completely. I
Yeah.
really do. I'm trying to see, I'm listening to you. I'm pulling up something while you're doing that. See if I still have it. I completely am also. I have a good idea. Oh, let me ask you this. I'll ask it this way. I have a good idea of what I want. I have a really strong idea of what I want before I've done the visioning. This is the first time I've gone into visioning that way. Usually I'm very like, I'm an open book, bring it to me. And this time I'm like, pretty clear on what I want, but I still want to go do the process anyway, because I don't know what else is going to open up.
Gotcha.
Didn't you guys have any thoughts on anything around that or?
Well, the vision board that I have right here is from last year. So I'm going to do Gary's exercise because I did Gary's exercise first.
You have done it.
Yeah. So I did it last year and then came up with the vision board that is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm carving out some time this week to do Gary's exercise. And then I'm going to start the vision board.
Nice.
For 2023.
I wasn't convinced on doing a vision board. I hadn't thought about really doing one, but maybe I will. I don't know.
So I put mine, at first I put it in my office, but then I put it in my bedroom. And then every morning when I woke up, I looked at it.
I like that.
I do like that too. It's supposed to be first thing in the morning and, last thing at night at the very least. My first year that I ever did, it wasn't a vision board. It was just my Not Another Winter. And I have 20 listings and it was just my handwritten words in front of me in like fat Sharpie. And it was just in front of me 24/7 when I lead generated on the board behind me.
Mhm,
It
mhm.
just all happened. It happened so dang fast. It wasn't even funny. I mean, I probably should have thought a lot bigger that year, a lot bigger that year.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
really, because the going from 3 listings to 20, all that was a mind shift. That's literally all that was just a mind shift. And I didn't realize that that's what it was. I thought it was all this work and everything else, but it was just opening up my brain to the fact that you could actually have that, which I was always told you couldn't. So
Right.
the mind shift was easy. And then the Not Another Winter thing, that literally just made me start looking at the opportunities that were always in front of me that I didn't realize that were there.
Right.
Like this year is for moving forward, it's publish a book. And then I started again, I just put it on my brain and I called a publisher Monday and talked to a publisher on Monday. And then when I was doing that, I was talking to my son, and my son's like, if it's really good, your course is really good. He goes, run it a few times and license the dang thing. And he goes and talk to Amanda, his wife, who works for one of those companies that does corporate training on personalities and all that kind of stuff. He goes, just license it, have them teach it. I'm like, you're a smart kid. There's a reason why I had you, dude. So, pretty dang funny. But I hadn't thought about publishing it the way that like that. And then I talked with Gary, and Gary's like, if you want to do this, you should absolutely self-publish. And here's why you should self-publish. I talked to the girl and she's like, you'll have full rights for everything. You get
Right.
the rights, you get everything. And I'm like, you know what? This is a bad deal. Trying to find my stupid table, which for whatever reason I have, well, let's start with, I have 12,000 pictures on my phone. So, and then we'll go from there. Anyway. What else you guys got?
I just recently started looking back at my vision board.
Mm-hmm.
And like you were saying, like it may not happen that year, or it may. I find that when I look at it, I'm more open to opportunity. Like I see opportunities.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
it was there before, but because my vision wasn't forefront, I didn't take advantage of it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, and it's been actually only the past 2 weeks since I've been homesick, 3 weeks.
And
Where I've kind of slowed down and kind of refocused on my priorities, like why I'm in real estate.
mm-hmm.
And that it's not just about the money.
It's not.
And being stressed about money is like a self cycle, because I had to get wait tables, had to, do this and do this. And I was like, okay, let me slow down. And I had to slow down. Like I physically could not go on working, 60 hours a week. So.
Yeah.
I really love that. Last night Greg and I were talking because my daughter is convinced that she's somewhere on it's not Alzheimer's, it's not Asperger's, but autism. She's somewhere on the autism scale. And I do know she's ADHD to the nth degree. Oh my God. I mean, she makes me look positively slug-like, anyway. And so we were talking about it, and I've often wondered if Greg's not a little bit on the scale. And the reason why is just because he can really obsess over stuff if he wants to. In like Bree, you've met him, so he doesn't show up as weird or anything like that.
Right.
He's very detail oriented and really good at what he does. Like he can hyper focus more than any man I've ever met in my entire life, and he can see detail and pattern like a savant. I mean, it's crazy. And anyway, so we were talking about it, and he's like, well, then what do you do with that? And I'm like, well, all I know for me is looking into, and I'm going to tie this back to real estate, is looking into when I had a friend actually of his who was like, oh, you were so ADHD or ADD, one or the other. And I'm like, no, I'm not, because I can do this and this and this. And he goes, how do you do it? And I'm like, I have systems. Like if I'm interrupted, I'm trying to think of something, I will hold up the letter of the alphabet that it starts with, because that's a T. And it reminds me, I need to talk about the thing starting with T. He goes, that's a system. And that's how you get around things like that. So anyway, it started the whole exploration. And then we put my daughter through some testing through the doctor. And then the doctor was turning around to me and was like, you're totally, yes, that's where she got it. Anyway, so Greg goes, but what do you do with it? I'm like, well, I look at it like this. there are things that I'm just flat out never going to be good at. Like if a monkey can do it and it's really simple, I cannot do it. But there are really a lot of other things that I'm really good at that other people aren't. And I think it's because of this. And I kind of like it. I kind of like it. And that's why I'm part of why I'm in real estate, because the other stuff doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. But real estate does. That does work for me and how I'm wired. And that was part of why I wanted to be able to help people, and I wanted to be able to change the world and help people that couldn't get into homes, people who were told no the first time. I really wanted to be able to help them. If they really wanted to do it and they thought it couldn't be done and they tried before, I'm like, oh, you're my people, come on. And then it fits with who I am, you know? So the money is a great, wonderful bonus.
Right.
Yeah. So that's just my little take on it. And then for him, if I'm like, if you decide to explore, if you don't want to, don't. I mean, it's up to you. Nobody cares. I said, just know though, that Greg is really good at what he does. And there's not very many people in the world that are good at that. I'm like, and if that's part of because you are somewhere on the spectrum, who cares? That's a cool thing. I don't look at it as a disability at all. I just
Yeah.
look at thinking different. That's all it is.
My twins are autistic
Yeah,
and on the spectrum, but they're very high functioning
right.
and suspected at a young age, but it's hard to diagnose. And so then they got diagnosed like about second grade, third grade. But they have such a unique gift
Mhm.
and perspective on life. And I think because my twins have each other, socially, they're not as awkward as people think they should be.
Ah, that's
Because they've had each other to pull each other out and to develop relationships. They don't have a big circle of friends, but they do have a close.
Mhm.
So I just want them to be amazing human beings,
Mhm.
and they'll find their talents.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the ADD and the high functioning, the Asperger's, what they just call autism now,
Right.
go hand in hand,
That's what they said.
like literally hand in
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah, like it's just a little further on up or down the spectrum if you were going to look at a spectrum of stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So that's one of my things. I want to like figure out my why,
Uh-huh.
nail down my gifts,
Yep.
and tie them to real estate, tie them to my business.
That's
You know,
and like I just love, like I read was it the Gary Keller, or was it Bold, Gina, that said find your why?
Bold is one of them. Simon Sinek does it. That's where they got it from. They got it from Simon Sinek, a deep dive into your why. There's a YouTube, there's a TED talk on it, actually. It's very good.
But Gary's took it to another level.
Yes.
So I'd always like just kind of it wasn't superficial, but just kind of like, oh, this is my why, my kids, my family.
yeah.
Right.
But then why is that my why?
Exactly. It's usually
Yeah.
five.
Yeah,
Five.
and
Okay.
it goes down. And so when you tie what you want to do to that, you'll find that you're more likely to follow through.
Yeah.
Bam.
And so when I was at KW, is about the first level of why and your numbers. And that was great because I'm kind of competitive. But now I find, like you were saying, things fall in your lap. And my dad always says, the harder you work, the luckier you get. When you get your why in front of you, opportunities may seem like they're falling in your lap, but it's also because you're able to pick it out.
Okay.
Yep. You're absolutely right, Bree. Like on every level, you were absolutely right.
Yeah, because I'm sorry.
Nope, go.
Because when I was trying to find my why before, and people was like, well, your family, and yeah, that's my why to a certain extent,
Right.
because I know I have to provide for my family.
Right.
But it's not, that why is not making me be the best that I can be.
Right.
So I need to find deep down something that really resonates with my soul.
Right.
And it's not about the numbers.
Nope.
You know, it's not about the numbers, it's not about the money. And I like what Zig Ziglar always says, you help enough people get what they want, you always get what you want.
Yep.
And I know that to be true. So if I could help 1 million people get $1, I
Right.
can get $1 million, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
So I just got to dig down and really find out what it is. I've got a good idea now, some of them, you know.
Mhm.
My family is one, but now it's
But
turning
that
to,
changes. Like your kids may
yeah,
go off, something may happen to the
exactly.
relationship. And like you were
That's right.
saying, when you dig deep, and really just protect that time. Like when you start the journey with Gary's thing,
Yeah.
protect it. Like
Okay.
if you have to go off to a field, if you go to a library, or just go off away where there's no people. The first time I did it was right before I just joined the team, and it was kind of like mid-year. So I did a 6-month one, and that was great. I was pretty focused, but then after I realized I was more connected to my output because of my why, I really protected the time the second time, which was how I got this vision board.
Okay.
So many things you said, I love. Good morning, PF. And then I got to run because I got my accountability buddy. First off, the numbers aren't a why. The numbers are a measurement. That's all they are. You need to have a measurement so you know if you're hitting what it is that you need to hit in order to make the money you need to do, but it's not the why. And then your why oftentimes is just five questions down. It's why is that important to me? Different ways of wording that. What does that look like when I have that in my life? Why is that important to me? Why does that matter? How come that one's important to me? And sometimes I've even had to go to what has happened in the past that makes me want to do this. Where have I been helped, not been helped with this, that, or the other? Why is that so important to me? And when I dig, then I get down to my soul thing. And then what happens is, now that I have that, whatever that big, huge thing is, like Bree said, draw the direct correlation between this little teeny tiny activity that I do today and this big, huge thing, because then it has importance and meaning and value and weight. And once you realize that I don't know what it is, putting stuff into my calendar has weight, or I wanted to make sure that I wrote thank you cards when people join the team. Like that was a big thing for me because I don't do that. And I want people, but underneath it, I want people to feel valued and loved and appreciated. And underneath that, it's because my childhood was really screwed up. And underneath that, it's, and it just kept on digging down to, oh, and now the thing that I always said I wanted to do, which had no importance or tied to anything, which is like, oh, it'd be so nice if I was the kind of person that sent out thank you cards. Why? Well, I like paper and words and they're nice. No, I want people to feel really valued and appreciated and know how important they are to me in my life. And I can, and that's just a crap example I pulled out of the air, but then I can tie those two together and I do it now. Am I perfect? No. Am I way better than I used to be? Yes. Yes, I am. All right, y'all, I got to jump on a phone call, my accountability buddy call. I can leave this going if you guys want, and I can just turn my my screen off and all that kind of stuff if you want, or I can just say goodbye. What do you guys want?
Goodbye. Good to see you. I have a bit of a cold, that's why.
Yeah, I got to go get a haircut.
Okay.
Just one?
Just one hair.
I need one too, but you try and get into a girl's place to get your hair cut the week before Christmas. It is not happening.
I hear
No.
you.
All.
So
Or
I'm getting a
next week.
haircut. I'm getting a haircut the day before my birthday. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm getting a birthday haircut.
Oh, he's pulling rank. That's all. Happy,
All right.
happy birthday in advance. I hope your day is amazing. And love you guys. See you guys tomorrow. Maybe
Bye.
not you, Greg. You go do something fun.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.